Today, we're diving into this idea of smart wealth. Now, you've probably heard the term thrown around, but it's way more than just a buzzword. It's really a whole new way of thinking about how to build your financial future in a world that, let's be honest, is changing faster than ever. So, let's get right into it. Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll figure out what smart wealth actually is. Then, we'll look at the old ways of building wealth versus the new. After that, we'll get into the two main pillars holding this all up, technology and new kinds of assets. And we'll wrap up by talking about the mindset you need to make it all work and, what might be coming next. Okay, let's kick things off with section 1, decoding smart wealth. What are we really talking about when we use this term? Believe it or not, this entire explainer is inspired by this one image right here. It just perfectly captures what we're talking about, doesn't it? You've got this blend of traditional money, you see the dollar sign, and this new digital world with the Bitcoin symbol and that high-tech city. This image is going to be our guide for the whole conversation. And that brings us to the big question. Is smart wealth just about downloading some cool new investing app or maybe just buying some crypto? Or is it something bigger, something more fundamental about how we should approach our finances today? Let's find out. To really get a handle on what this new thing is, we kind of have to understand what it isn't. So in section 2, we're going to compare the old school financial world with this new tech-powered approach. And wow, this slide lays it out so clearly. On the left, you've got the traditional path. It was slow, it was steady, it was all about manual work and dealing with people. Think about setting up meetings with a financial advisor or picking stocks out of a newspaper. But on the right, you have the smart path. It's fast, it's automated, and it puts you directly in control. It uses technology to give you access to things that used to be out of reach, and you can do it all right from your phone. So that's the perfect lead-in to section 3. We're going to look at the first core pillar, the real engine behind this whole revolution, technology. This is so important to grasp. The smart in smart wealth, well, it is the technology. That's the engine making all of this happen. It's what's taking these super sophisticated financial strategies and making them available to everybody, not just the big shots on Wall Street. What's really cool is how all these pieces fit together. You've got AI giving you insights based on tons of data. You've got robo-advisors that can actually execute the plan for you. Fintech apps put all that power right in the palm of your hand. And underneath a lot of it is blockchain. This super secure, decentralized technology that's basically rebuilding finance from the ground up. Let's make this really concrete with an example. A robo-advisor, it's perfect. You just tell it your goals, right? Like, I want to save for a house or I'm planning for retirement. The AI then crunches the numbers and builds a whole investment portfolio just for you. And the best part? It then runs on autopilot, automatically investing and rebalancing to keep you on track. I mean, this is the kind of service that used to cost a fortune, and now it's totally automated. Okay, so we've totally covered the smart part. Now let's dig into the wealth part. Section 4 is all about the second pillar, this incredible new world of assets. If we go back to our source image, we can pull out these two symbols. On one side, you have the dollar, which stands for the entire traditional financial system we all grew up with. But on the other, you have Bitcoin, which represents this whole new category of digital assets that's completely changing our definition of what wealth can even be. So, what are these things? It sounds technical, but the idea is pretty straightforward. Digital assets are just things of value that exist only in digital form. The really important part is that their ownership is secured with cryptography, which makes them incredibly secure and lets you transfer them without needing a middleman like a bank. And this is where it gets mind-blowing. A smart wealth portfolio isn't about throwing out the old stuff. It's about smart integration. You can have your traditional stocks and bonds sitting right next to cryptocurrencies, or digital art in the form of NFTs, or even a tiny piece of a building through tokenized real estate. We're not just adding new toys here. We're talking about totally different kinds of assets with different potentials. The very idea of a diversified portfolio has just exploded. Which brings us to the part that really matters. We've seen the tools, we've seen the assets. So how do you actually put it all together? Section 5 is all about building your own financial future with this stuff. And honestly, this right here might be the most important takeaway. Just having the latest apps doesn't make you a smart investor. Smart wealth is a mindset. It's a whole approach to your finances that's built on learning, on strategy, and on being able to adapt. When it comes right down to it, this is what it's all about. The why behind all of this tech and all these assets isn't just to watch a number on a screen get bigger. It's about using these incredible tools to build a life that gives you more options, more security, and ultimately, more freedom. So, what does that mindset look like in the real world? Well, it's about always being curious, always learning. It's about diversifying your investments in a smart way across both the old and the new. It's about keeping your eye on the long-term prize. And, this is a big one, being ready and willing to adapt as new tech comes along. And that leads us to our final section, the unwritten next chapter. Because if there's one thing we can be absolutely sure of, it's that this story is nowhere near finished. You've heard this before, but it has never, ever been more true than it is right now. The world of finance isn't some static, unchanging thing. It's a living system, and it is evolving at a speed that is, well, it's kind of breathtaking. I mean, just look at this timeline. It says it all. It took a couple of decades to go from the first ATMs to having online banking everywhere. But then look at what happened next. Bitcoin was created in 2009, and just about 10 years later, things like DeFi and NFTs were hitting the mainstream. The speed of change isn't just fast, it's accelerating. What used to take 20 years now takes 10, and what takes 10 now might only take 5 next time. So that leaves us with this final thought. The financial rulebook is literally being rewritten as we speak. The tools, the assets, the strategies, they're all changing. So the real question isn't just what the future of wealth is going to look like. The question is, who's going to build it? Who's going to be the one to learn, to adapt, and to shape it? And the architects of that future, well, that could absolutely be you.